Thanks for joining us for another conversation about hidden risks inside small businesses. Today, we're going to talk about evergreen clauses and auto renewals, the quiet contracts that nibble at your margins until suddenly they don't.
Promise. In the next 20 minutes, we'll map the anatomy of the evergreen trap, cover the legal edits that actually work at the table, walk through operational steps to spot and stop renewal drift, and close with a 30, 90, 180-day playbook you can use immediately.
Quick intros. Jessica, tell listeners who you are and one renewal pain point you've seen.
I'm Jessica Mays. I advise small businesses on contracts and compliance. One quick example, a client thought they had a 90-day notice window to cancel, but the contract required cancellation no later than 60 days before renewal, and the vendor's billing cycle reset 30 days earlier. They missed the window twice and paid 2 full years of service.
Ouch. Eddie, yours?
I'm Eddie Klein. I work on cybersecurity and digital ops. I once found 3 active vendor admin accounts for a terminated partner because their contract quietly auto-renewed and no one revoked access. That created a live backdoor into internal data until we caught it. Small change, big risk.
All right, Section 1, the anatomy of the evergreen trap. Let's tease apart the language and the admin habits that hide renewals. Most evergreen clauses are short. This agreement will automatically renew for successive terms unless either party provides written notice X days prior to the end of the then current term. The catch isn't the sentence, it's the details. How written notice is defined, whose calendar controls the deadline, whether pricing can change on renewal, and what happens to data and access.
Right. Vendors often push 2 subtle tactics, long notice windows and an ambiguous notice method. Written notice might mean certified mail, or it might accept email, but contracts that leave that undefined give vendors leverage. Also watch for rolling renewal windows embedded in addenda or invoices. Those can move the target without an obvious contract change.
From an operational view, billing cadence and invoice timing hide renewals. Vendors will schedule a renewal invoice a month before the contract end and assume silence equals consent. Teams that rely on accounts payable to flag renewals miss it because AP is focused on payment, not contract terms. That creates the set and forget problem.
Administrative habits matter. Scattered contract files, no central calendar for expiration dates, and no single owner mean renewals slip through. People assume someone else is watching, and the vendor assumes silence equals agreement. It's a perfect alignment of benign neglect. Section 2. Legal exposures and practical contract edits. Jessica, walk us through the edits that actually protect small teams without derailing negotiations.
Start with clarity. Define notice precisely. Include acceptable channels, email to a named address, electronic signature, or physical mail, and say when notice is effective. Trim notice windows to something reasonable for your operations. 30 to 60 days is often sufficient. Next, insist on short automatic terms, or opt-in renewals. Instead of a 3-year automatic renewal, ask for a 30 or 90-day auto term, or no auto renewal at all. If a vendor resists, offer a compromise. Automatic renewals limited to 1 successive term, with an explicit cap on price increases on renewal. Make termination and transition obligations explicit. Require a vendor to assist with data export and transfer, and set a timeline for returning or destroying your data. That avoids surprises if a renewal goes poorly or you choose a new provider. Finally, use a simple negotiation script. Say, we can move forward if we narrow the renewal to 30 days, allow email notice to our general counsel address, and cap any renewal price increase at 5%. Short, specific, and easy for the vendor to accept or counter.
Those scripts are gold. They give teams a starting point, so negotiations don't feel like a legal war. Okay, Section 3. Operational and cyber impacts, and a rapid playbook. Eddie, let's start with the ops side, and then you take cyber.
On operations, centralized contract metadata immediately. Capture vendor name, effective date, renewal date, Notice window, owner, and key SLAs in one place. A simple spreadsheet or a lightweight contract tracker works. Assign a renewal owner and put a recurring calendar reminder 90, 60, and 30 days before renewal. Those reminders should trigger a checklist. Do we still need this service? What is the current spend, and who will lead negotiations?
From finance, add renewal flags to forecasting. Treat pending renewals as conditional expenses and stress test your margin if worst-case fees apply. That prevents surprise hits to profitability and gives leadership time to decide rather than react.
Cyber. Do a quick inventory of integrations tied to every vendor. For each vendor, record the accounts they can access, API tokens, SSO relationships, and any service accounts. When a renewal is approaching, part of the checklist must be review access. If you cancel or switch a vendor, rotate keys, revoke tokens, and remove their SSO access as part of offboarding.
Lightweight technical controls help. Limit vendor accounts to least privilege. Use time-bound credentials for short engagements, and log third-party access. If you have a central identity provider, enforce short session lifetimes and require MFA for vendor accounts.
Rapid 30, 90, 180-day playbook. Quick and prioritized. 30 days. Run a discovery. Centralize contract metadata, add calendar alerts, and assign owners. 90 days. Negotiate immediate edits for the top 3 costliest or riskiest vendors. Implement the monthly renewal checklist, and complete the integrations inventory. 180 days, embed renewal review into procurement. Update contract templates with the legal edits Jessica recommended, and automate tracking where possible.
A practical note. For existing contracts you can't rewrite, use process controls. Send targeted notice reminders to the vendor to open a dialogue before the renewal window closes. If you need time to negotiate, ask for a short extension in writing. Vendors often accept a paid month as a bridge if they see you as a credible customer.
Common scenarios Q&A. Quick troubleshooting. SaaS subscriptions. Tag them in your contract tracker and treat them like mission-critical apps. Equipment leases. Confirm physical return, maintenance obligations, and early termination penalties well before renewal. Bundled services. Unbundle pricing for clarity so you can choose only what you need.
If a vendor resists changing Evergreen language, negotiate procedural protections. Require written renewal reminders from the vendor 45 days before renewal, or a requirement that any price increase be approved by your procurement owner. Those are easier asks than removing auto-renewal entirely, and still reduce surprise risk.
Recap. Detect renewal risk by centralizing contract dates and assigning owners. Fix contracts with clear notice rules, shorter auto terms, and transition clauses. Mitigate cyber risk by inventorying integrations and enforcing access offboarding. If you take nothing else away, add renewal checkpoints to your monthly ops review this week. CTA. For the hidden business risk briefing with a 30, 90, 180 checklist, the negotiation scripts, and a sample contract metadata template, go to hiddenbusinessrisk.com. That's hiddenbusinessrisk.com.
Okay, that's it for today. Jessica, any final quick thought?
Be proactive. Small edits now save time, money, and stress later. Make your contracts and processes work for you, not the other way around.
And don't treat access as an afterthought. Lock down vendor access on the timeline of your contract, not theirs.
Thanks for listening. And again, go to hiddenbusinessrisk.com for the briefing. We'll see you next episode where we'll pull another quiet risk back into daylight.